ECOSOC was established as a result of culmination of numerous decisions with the intention of the African Union to engage civil society in the processes of the AU and OAU, to promote dialogue between all segments of the African people on issues concerning the continent and its future.
I think it's very important when you look at the various stakeholders that we are dealing with. Convening the various African Union organs, civil society organizations, and other segments of the civil society space is very critical, especially when we talk about issues of governance, democracy, and human rights in the continent. These are all critical players who have major role to play, and therefore it's important that we're able to engage in a manner at which we are able to organize ourselves.
The reason I was glad to be here is because I was able to engage with civil society, and I was able to learn from them how the court can engage better with them in terms of carrying out capacity building functions, training, monitoring and compliance on the court's decisions, because they're key stakeholders. So once the court renders its judgments, the other stakeholders take over then to popularize these decisions, to bring them alive to the citizens, provide maybe information to the court in terms of research, expert information gathered from data and research that can help the court make informed decisions.
I think that when we talk about stakeholders, collaboration is very important, especially when we work to make sure that youth matters are tabled and discussed at decision-making levels. It's very important for us to involve the different organizations, in this case civil society organizations, and the different African Union organs, so that in whatever processes we are doing and decisions they are taking, we have a broader perspective based on the different organizations.
I was very impressed today to learn more about what African Union is doing and how the African Union infrastructure, or the structure of it, is trying to promote activism, the civil society space in the continent. I was very much impressed by the presentations that were made.
Today's engagement was quite insightful. It was much more of a learning session to me. Learning about the African Court on Human and People's Rights, the structure and the frameworks that are laid down by the court, and the role of African governments towards the existence of the court. So one of the interesting things that came out is that we still have countries that have withdrawn from the court simply because the judgments were not according to their perceptions and their expectations. So I feel like that's something that we've had in most governments in Africa, and I feel like there is need for us to move away from that and actually respect the institutions that are already in place to make sure that Africa as a continent moves forward in a peaceful way.